Another video, and today we're doing Madden 24 fantasy draft. I had the Denver Broncos, so here's my roster. I got Russ at QB, Russell Wilson, Derrick Henry at running back, DK Metcalf at receiver 1, and Michael Thomas at receiver 2. Then here's my defense.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll get a look here at Derrick Henry. He was an unstoppable force last week with well over 200 yards. It's the Broncos and the Commanders, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in week 1.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford. And Stafford's going to be taken down. That's a safety. Well, we thought these 2 defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Take it at the 37. Well, the Broncos offense gets set to go to work, and at the helm in his 2nd season wearing orange and blue, Russell Wilson.
Well, he started his season the way that everyone wants to start their season, with an absolute bang. AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Let's see where he goes from here.
Set the bar high. Week 2, we'll see what he can do. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught at the 25. A huge play there for Denver. And even 40 yards.
I guess we got a good idea about what the game plan is for attacking the secondary. No beating around the bush with this crew. His first throw of the game is a deep shot, and it connects. That's a tendency breaker right there because normally you build up to the big shot, but not in this case.
3 yards on the scramble there at second down. Wilson. Flushed out right. The rushing numbers for Wilson, maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Now Wilson changing the play. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Oh, boy, Derrick Henry shaken up after that last play and in some discomfort down there. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Israel Abanikanda with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos are able to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes this a 9-point game. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They trail now 9-0. The opening safety followed by the touchdown a moment ago. So an early hole to dig out of as the drive starts 1st and 10. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now they'll audible to something else. On 2nd down, a run with Patterson. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. This defense for the Broncos, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
And a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They keep it with Henry on 1st down. Oh, he's got a little daylight, fighting his way through contact. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another 1st down as they bite off 23 more on that one. They'll make it a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Derrick Henry with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Broncos are able to stretch out their lead. Well, I think Josh Norman can sympathize. He knows a little something about a run like this from Derrick Henry. I mean, that stiff arm might be the best in the business.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We'll see that Josh Norman play forever and ever, won't we? Because at Derrick Henry's size, 6'3", nearly 250, you know he's not shying away from contact. And here he just kept the defender at arm's length as he barreled his way into the end zone. I mean, just put that arm into the chest, and there he goes.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers for him from a week ago: 18 carries, 66 yards, and a touchdown.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
3rd down and 6. Stafford. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. Washington going to send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Rush comes and they block it. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. Taking it in. And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
There are plenty of ways for a special teams coach to get excited. And when you block a punt into the end zone and recover it for a score, yeah, he's going to be jumping up and down a big way.
And as a punter, you know that clock is ticking. He just didn't get it off in time. Tucker now for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Not only did they block it, the awareness to go and grab it and then take it into the end zone for 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Give them 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Huntley on 3rd down. And off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had. Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 114 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. A first down carry for Henry. Shoves him aside. Shreds him with his... And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots.
On second down, Wilson rolling to his right. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown! DK Metcalf, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are pouring it on. Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Wilson throw complete there to Thomas. And bulldozing his way through. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Got his man, it's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You're getting in.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Again, it's Henry. Shoves him away, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Derrick Henry with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Broncos extend their lead yet again. Well, I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly...
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Throwing is Wilson. Man open downfield, it's Metcalf. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 26 big yards on that one. It's another first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On first down, Wilson on the move to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos have widened the gap now to 50 points. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right?
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now Wilson on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
And this is one of the toughest parts about being a defensive back. When a play breaks down like this, you're taught to plaster to a receiver, find the nearest one, and adhere yourself to it. But you can only stay with the receiver so long if the play continues to develop. He knows where he's going. You do not.
This is caught inside the 15. They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Give him 32 on the play. From the shotgun, Wilson. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football. So this offense will head back out there, already in excellent field position thanks to the interception. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Derrick Henry, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking,
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Henry on first down, not finding much running room as he pushes forward for a yard or 2 at most.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their bicep.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Derrick Henry, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. CD, I mean, they have just been scoring at will. It's been score after score after score, and a lot of times we use the term blowout for a lopsided ball game. And that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there for Denver, 42 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Catch is made by Metcalf. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Wilson. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Henry diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the...
Wilson and the Broncos offense going to stay on the field. They'll go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. And I guess the touchdown wasn't enough. They want the onside kick as well. And this is going to be covered up by Washington. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. I'd like to be those defensive coaches, though. That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
On top of that, she good for me. Made me wanna say, even though I got plenty, if I'm down to my last penny, I still gotta back up, cause it's on this old train line, I'ma get it done. Now I got the party jumping like it's double dutch. Then we spun the block, came back, double up, like, ooh, I gotta, and yeah, met her uptown, but she from the borough.